everyone, this is Lucy. I'm an Associate Solutions Architect working at Amazon Web Services, and today I'll be sharing with you how you can get started with learning AWS for free. So I know on this channel I've mainly been recommending paid resources, but many of you have been reaching out asking if there's ways to learn AWS without having to buy video courses or ebooks. The good news is, yes, there are tons of resources out there to help you study for AWS certifications and build your skills in AWS. It's not really something you need to be spending a lot of money on, especially if you're a full-time student or if you don't have a steady source of income. But the bad news is, because there's so many resources out there, it can be quite hard to filter through all of them and figure out which one you should be using. And so in this video, I'll be sharing the top strategies and resources that you can use to learn AWS without having to pay a single dollar. Before we get started, please make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more videos like this. Alright, so many of you might not know this, but AWS is actually on a mission to provide free cloud computing skills training to over 29 million people by 2025. According to this press release, Amazon has committed to investing hundreds of millions of dollars towards this mission. And to help with this, they launched a platform called the AWS Skill Builder, which aims to provide high quality training to people all across the world. I've been using AWS Skill Builder a lot recently, and it's been really helpful for building my skills in certain services in AWS. And in my honest opinion, it's the best platform and resource to learn AWS for free. It's basically a learning portal where you can access everything from video courses to lab exercises and practice questions. You can explore different learning plans, and there are over 500 courses available to help you own your career and achieve your goals. All you have to do is to sign up for a free account and you can get started with your learning. Now, the next resource I'd like to recommend is Workshops.aws. This is something I recommended in my previous video, and a lot of you are really surprised that there's a website out there where you can find free self-paced labs created by different teams internally at AWS. This is an AWS site where you can find self-paced workshops ranging from all levels of difficulty. So you can see there's level 300, level 200, level 100 as well, and there's a lot of workshops you can choose from. So for example, this AWS networking workshop, you can see that it covers the full spectrum of AWS networking, all the way from the basics of a VPC and subnets to the more advanced configurations. Now, AWS workshops are a really great resource to sort of learn by doing. So by following along those workshops, you'll be able to improve your skills in AWS and really learn about how those services work deep down. Okay, so the next resource is a video series called Back to Basics. It's an ongoing series of videos that explains, examines, and decomposes basic cloud architecture best practices, and each episode is actually hosted by an AWS Solutions Architect. I would recommend Back to Basics for anyone looking to familiarize themselves with architectural patterns and get an idea of how AWS services work together to address common technical problems. The next resource is the AWS Free Tier. And if you don't know already, AWS, once you sign up for an account, gives you 12 months of access to many of our services for free. And these services, you can use them to a limited capacity without having to pay a single dollar. And this comes in really handy because, as you probably heard me say over and over again on this channel, the best way to learn AWS is by understanding the theoretical knowledge, but more importantly, building and experimenting and seeing how these services actually work in the AWS console and how all of these services fit in together. So to make use of the free tier, what you can do is you can create your own AWS account, set up a billing alarm to avoid unnecessary charges, and then you can start to provision resources and interact with these resources. For example, you can see here that Amazon EC2 has a free tier that provides 750 hours per month for certain T2 micro and T3 micro instances. I'll put a link in the description box below that gives you an overview of the services covered by the AWS free tier. Okay, so by this point of the video, what I've mentioned is resources that can help you with AWS certifications. It can help you build your skills in AWS, and it can also help you understand some of the common architectures. But I thought I'd mention some other resources that can help you understand the cloud computing industry better and help you go deeper into your learning once you have developed a basic understanding of AWS services. The first one is AWS re:Invent videos. re:Invent is an annual learning conference hosted by AWS for the global cloud computing community. You can watch as many of these videos as you like for free on YouTube, and there are some really cool keynote speeches, product announcements, and customer stories. Aside from re:Invent, AWS has a bunch of other events and webinars throughout the year. For example, AWS Summit and AWS Innovate. On YouTube, you'll be able to find recordings for some of those sessions too. The second one is AWS white papers. There are hundreds of free technical white papers, technical guides, and reference diagrams available on this website, and reading through them will help you expand your knowledge of different AWS use cases. The next resource is AWS Ramp-Up Guides. I've recommended this in a previous video, and it's a really good way to find useful resources grouped by different categories. So you can see by role, by solution, or by industry. And for example, if I click on one of the guides, you can see that the resources are centralized and listed out in the document. And the final resource that I wanted to mention is the AWS Twitch channel, more specifically a show called the AWS Power Hour. You can watch the recorded episodes on demand, and it's a pretty fun and engaging way to learn how to build on AWS. Alright, so this brings us to the very end of this video. Please give it a like if you haven't already, and hopefully you found this video helpful. If you have any video suggestions, please leave it down in the comments below, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with future videos.